Shed with Ed.
Hey YouTubers and friends and Flash fam, welcome back all of you. If this is your first time here, I'm Ed Marvin of Flash in Your Pan, and welcome to another episode of In the Shed with Ed, Gold Prospecting 101. Now, in our first episode, we talked about where to go in clubs, which is way up there. But what I want to talk about in this video is even higher, and that is prospecting, prospectors ethics. Well, Ed, what do you mean by prospectors ethics? Well, you're either ethical or you're not, right? So I'm talking about being a good ambassador, if not a great ambassador for our lifestyle. No matter what you're doing, if you're panning, sluicing, high banking, dredging, metal detecting, bottle digging, magnet fishing, etc., etc., etc. Be ethical about it. Pack out what you pack in. Might as well take someone else's with you. Do your reclamation work when you're done, and if you're done for the day and not coming back for a while, I'm not talking about doing reclamation day after day if you're there for a weekend, a week, or whatever the case may be. If you have a day claim, don't worry about reclaiming it until after you're done and won't be back for a while. Fill in your holes, make sure anything that don't belong there isn't there anymore, and take it out with you. Be courteous, be polite. Also, don't be a claim jumper. If there's someone with a day claim, don't hop in their hole. Now, if someone didn't do their reclamation work and left a hole, and shoot, if it's a sizable hole, I'd jump in it, because no one's gonna do that kind of work if they're not getting any gold. If they're not getting any values, they're not gonna be putting in the time. They'd move on. At least someone who's smart would. Now, know the rules and regulations. Know your state forest regulations, DNR, or whatever. If you're on a company property like whatever power or Warehouser or Scott Paper or something like that, talk to them, get permission, and know their rules, what they expect out of you. Also, keep a clean camp too. That's really important. Everything reflects on our lifestyle, no matter what it is, especially if you're a YouTuber. Because people look at you. Be a good ambassador. Be a great ambassador for our lifestyle. Because 99.9% of the people I meet are absolutely awesome people, great people. And that's the kind of people we want in our lifestyle. Now, It's your responsibility to do your homework on land status. If it's a national park, it's a no-go zone. State parks are usually a no-go zone. State forests, DNR land, any state land, know where you can and what you can do on which land. Also, know your national forest rules. I know it's different from state to state. Know the rules of where you're going to be. Also, if you're on public land, you need to know if there's any claims. If you're on Bureau of Land Management or National Forest land, it may be some places like East Fork San Gabriel River. That's no longer open to mineral entry as far as I'm aware, but you can still prospect there. Now, other lands, BLM lands, National Forest lands, it's your responsibility to know the rules and the regulations or the mining laws and acts for that area. It's your responsibility to know if it's claimed. Now, if it's a claimed mining claim, no matter what kind, well, I shouldn't say what kind, I'll get into that a little more here in a minute. But if it's a placer claim, the claimant only owns the minerals on and below the surface. There's some things they can do on it for their mining operations. But it's still public land and you have the right to hike through, to fish, to take pictures of wildlife or flowers. You could even have the right to camp there. But you do not have the right to put shovel into ground and put that material into a pan and to look for gold or to set up a high banker or a dredge or whatever. That is a Class A felony and it's called claim jumping. If you go into a hard rock mine that's still an active mine and you take ore samplings, that's what you call high grading. That's also claim jumping. Class A felony. It's not right. You're stealing. If it's a patented mining claim, it becomes private property. There's ways to find out who owns it. On claims, it's ways to find out who's the claimant, and you can obtain permission from those people, if possible. Now, if you're in a area open to mineral entry, BLM land, National Forest land, and you're on an open chunk of land that has no claims on it, lode or placer, you have the right to prospect on that property under the 1872 Mining Act. That act only applies to states that allow claims. I believe there's like 13 in the western part of the United States. But I want to stress the importance of knowing the rules and the regulations and the laws and acts, and knowing knowing where you're gonna be, knowing the owner status. I was a claim owner in Washington State in Northern California. If asked, I would give permission. They would do what I would ask and say, please let me know what you find and exactly where you found it. That can help in assessment work for the claimant. It did me. I'd map it out on a map, and it helps you determine where pay streaks are and whatnot. I'm talking generally placer. I'm not Jeff Williams, and I'm not a hard rock miner. I am a placer miner, or a prospector. Now, a lot of it's common sense. Just a lot of common sense. Now, on our next episode of Prospecting 101, Gold Prospecting 101, here on In the Shed with Ed, we're gonna start getting into maps and researching. There's different online tools for both of those. And I'll have other maps and other things when we have that episode. Thanks for joining me on episode 2 of Gold Prospecting 101 here in the Shed with Ed Marvin. Check out our other videos. Also, if you want to check out the first episode in this series, head over to this playlist, Gold Prospecting 101 in the Shed with Ed. But until then, I hope to see you every Tuesday night for Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's always a good time. And may you always have a flash in your pan. And maybe one day too, I'll meet you on the river. But for now, you know what? I'm out of here.